The draft has begun, so let us see where we'll be going. It looks like Infernal Shrines will be our first battleground of the day. There's always a lot of Infernal Shrines in these competitions. We've been seeing it a lot in China when we were casting Gold League, and a lot in our last qualifiers that we've been casting. Now, don't forget, guys, this is qualifier number 1. The top 2 teams will advance to regionals, the second regionals for North America. But teams still want to do really well even if they don't get those spots, because the final qualifier is a last chance qualifier with only the top 8 teams in points will be invited to attend that and try to get those final 2 spots for regionals.
Well, here we go with the first pick, first ban, going over to Big Coffin Hunters. They're going to deny the Zagara. Very often a comfort pick for the amateur tier teams. So just going for, if these guys don't play each other, if they have no scrimmage experience versus each other, Zagara often going to be a safe ban in this position. Divine 9 going to respond with a Kael'thas ban.
Kael'thas ban signifies the Big Coffin Hunters want to pick up Li Ming, want to make sure that they have one of those big damage-dealing mages available to them, and so they're going to be able to get her. But Kael'thas is a good ban in general. We've seen a lot of a rise of him, but especially on Infernal Shrines too, where he can steal away a lot of these skeletal monsters from the shrines with the bigger flame strikes that he can get. Now, Divine 9 have 2 picks. Falstad will be their first choice, having a global presence, being able to fly in at the last second to the shrine fights if needed, and otherwise soaking for the team. What do you think they'll pick up next?
I mean, they have the option. It depends on what they're more comfortable with, warriors or supports. Looks like they might be going Jaina. This is getting weird. We're starting the day off strong. Normally right now we'd be seeing like a Murden or ETC with the ban on that from them, or an Uther or Rhaegar with the follow ban on that as well. But that's not what we're going to be seeing here from Divine 9. They're thinking really hard on this Jaina. You know, a great burst if she can catch Li Ming out of position, if you get Numbing Blast at 16 to help secure that kill, as well as the decent enough wave clear for the shrine. So definitely an unconventional pick here, not one we see too often anymore, but maybe it's comfort pick for them. Because
of the fact that she not only lost Bolt of the Storm at 20, but also because her ice block was moved to 20. So her ability to stay alive, her self-survivability went way down, and as soon as that patch happened, it was just like an instant drop for Jaina. But we'll see how that works out for Divine 9. Big Coffin Hunters now grabbing Rhaegar as their support. Wondering if we'll see a warrior right here, if they're just trying to make sure that they have a really well-rounded draft going into the second bans. Or if they'll go for another damage dealer and then just look to ban Uther and at least control the support pool.
I'd be okay with a damage pickup here. I don't think you need to go both support and warrior before the mid-tier bans. Locking in 2 powerful damage dealers with one of the 2 warriors or supports, whichever one you want to go with, probably get you more.
Oh okay. My goodness!
This is the definition of Hero League, like right here. Just Jaina Nazebo.
Okay, so we're gonna have some voodoo. We're gonna have some frost magic. It's gonna be a great time on Infernal Shrines. And Nazebo will be picked up by Big Coffin Hunters. Now we go into the ban phase, and Divine 9 are looking at banning Johanna. Johanna provides a lot of wave clear and can group up those minions to make it easier for her teammates to take them down. So we're going to be seeing a warrior pickup from them after this next ban from Big Coffin Hunters. Who can ban a support here?
Well, let's see what they do once to deny. Probably going to be the Uther. That's pretty normal across all regions in this situation if you have Uther or Rhaegar. Unless there's something specific you're wanting to deny, whether you see something compositionally coming. It's very interesting. Uther going to be the ban here, or the ban here for sure. Divine 9, next 2 picks. There's something I want to talk about. Again, we give this guy a shout out a lot, D the Hunter, for his stats. Taking a look at the Gold League stats today, Illidan had a 100% involvement rate this entire season so far.
Yeah.
Every single game, Illidan has been involved in it.
Picked or banned. A lot of bans.
100%. Mainly bans, yes. A lot of bans.
So many bans.
He has been let through a few times, and we're not seeing him picked up quite yet. Maybe that's just lack of comfortability on the hero, or just hasn't caught on in the scene yet. But Illidan, definitely a terrifying force right now.
Yeah, he has been. Even with the nerfs to friend or foe and the small nerfs that came in for him, still a very terrifying force that, like you said, has been in Gold League. We've gotten the pleasure to watch quite a bit. and how that's developed. But Divine 9 here have picked up Zoia and ETC, so they have a lot of control. We mentioned that they was going to pick up a warrior, and with banning out Johanna, they are going to grab ETC, so just try to control that. And then having a really good hero for being able to clear out the shrines again in Zoia. So between Zoia and Jaina, they're looking really good on that front. But Big Coffin Hunters also grab a warrior, as Muradin will be the grab for them. And one final pick, one final damage dealer. Ball is available if they want something arranged like that, or if they want something more in the melee category, Thrall is still available, and that's who they're looking at.
Yeah, overall, really good composition so far for Big Coffin Hunters. The Nazebo's the interesting one here. We're probably going to see the hybrid build between Leaping Spiders and the Toads, with Gargantuan picked up at level 10. So it's just a lot of poke, a lot of sustain, and we'll have to see what support Divine 9 wants to do against that. I mean, I think the Thrall is the best pickup here. You get the counter, you get the hard engage, you get the disengage for the mosh pit as well, with the Sundering. So yeah, really like the pickup of Thrall here. Divine 9 with their last pick. I mean, wouldn't like a solo support Tassadar. I mean, I think it has to be Karazim in this situation.
Yeah, that could be problematic for them, for sure. Oh, they're looking at Malfurion. You always have to consider, too, when we are casting teams who are newer, maybe not quite at the level that we're used to, we're seeing, or you can see some different picks because of comfort, whether or not they're okay with playing Karazim. We're going to get Malfurion, and that will close out our draft.
Yeah, really cool draft from both of these guys. I mean, Malfurion might. Malfurion, I mean, people seem to think that Malfurion's great versus the Nazebo because he's got the spread healing and stuff, but it's really not that great. His single target heals have a long cooldown. It's more spread damage over time, which if it was like AoE damage burst like Kael'thas, that's when Malfurion's good. When the chain bombs go off, because Tranquility like heals it up, but Tranquility is such a long cooldown, you can't just use that versus Nazebo poke. So late game, Nazebo's poke, like with the Leaping Spires and stuff, can really whittle down a Malfurion's heal just because, you know, the AoE healing outside Tranquility isn't the best. If he doesn't go Ice Block at 13, he's susceptible to the Thrall Li Ming, so he can't really go Life Seed at that tier. And then it's Malfurion versus Li Ming as well, Thrall as well, which is just pure burst, which we all know Malfurion struggles versus burst. So overall, I really dislike this draft from Big Game from Divine 9. Everything looked good. It looked okay until the Malfurion pick. I think Karazim would have been better there. He deals a little bit better with the Nazebo, and then has the Divine Palm for the burst.
What about Lieutenant Morales? You think they could have kept her safe potentially?
That's just so risky.
Yeah, with the Thrall.
Yeah,
flanks.
Especially with Wave of Force being like the go-to here, you can really disrupt Met Morales and get him out of position for a kill. You can join off me.
Okay.
I'm not seeing you on my friends list for some reason.
Me? We're not friends? Is that what you're saying?
I just can't find you on my friends list to invite you. But I found you now.
All right. Do you... Okay, so... I don't know which side is which. But we will find out. I mean, I know that Malfurion is on Divine 9, but I don't know if they're blue. So I may have to change the overlays right at the beginning. Let's see. You just making some music? Is that...
I was trying to figure out...
I could put some music on if, like, that's an issue.
No. If we're going to do music, I'm going to be making it.
A little Katy Perry?
Yeah, a little Katy Perry. Are we slaving today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah, dog.
Okay, game number 1, guys. Between Divine 9 and Big Coffin Hunters. We're probably going to call them the Coffin Hunters only
Divine
because...
9 looks like they're the left team.
Yes. Nailed it by
Nailed
accident.
Nailed it by accident. See, I told you we could make our own music.
Yeah, that sounded just like Katy Perry.
Yep, I know. You don't need to tell me.
You could definitely be her stand-in.
Yeah. Easily.
We're loading into Infernal Shrines, guys. Every single series today, a best of 3. Of course, finals will not be played as the top 2 teams will qualify for regionals in Burbank. And the winner of this series has to feed right into Naventic, so no rest for them. All right, if you don't mind introducing the blue team, I'm going to make sure we have sound.
Sure, on the left-hand side of the map, in the blue trunks, it's going to be Divine 9, Jason playing the Malfurion, Ice Fox, Emily playing Zoia, Plague playing Jaina, Rabid Penguin playing ETC, and Waxfth playing Falstad.
I like Rabid Penguin, that's an awesome name. In the red, we have the big Coffin Hunters with Joy Invin playing Muradin, Power Defense on Rhaegar, Dan Clan on Li Ming, Nazeebo played by Rampage, and finally Thrall will be played by Zergling.
Well, we have immediately people go into the lanes. We have a 1-3-1 split from these guys. No one willing to do the 5-man contention here. I keep saying big game hunters, you're right. They're not big game hunters. They're big coffin hunters.
That's a video game that you find in a bar.
It's also the name of a Hearthstone card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? The bar one is Big Buck Hunter.
Oh.
Anyway, not at all applicable to this cast. We have the teams splitting up into the lanes, just trying to make sure that they can get that soak, not miss out on anything before the first shrine phase, so that they can make sure that they are right where they need to be level-wise. And we're going to see Nazeebo versus Falstad.
Yeah. Is that Death Ritual at 1? I still don't know Nazeebo's. I mean, when's the last time
It
I've looked
is
at
Death Ritual.
That is Death Ritual. So going for the pretty standard talent here. Late game, you can actually increase your health quite a bit to the point that Nazeebo's actually not as squishy a target as people think. Whenever I get enough, like I've recently playing Nazeebo a few times. Whenever you get enough stacks late game, he feels tankier than a Grey Mane. So not as, he just lacks the mobility is his main weakness, but not a super squishy target late game if you do get those stacks with the Death Ritual here. Getting closer to that point where we'll see where the shrine is going to spawn, and it will, we'll have to see which teams are going to contest it, how heavily it's going to be contested as well from these teams.
They're entangling roots going to force out a jump, a dwarf toss from Muradin. If you're looking at Nazeebo trying to get those stacks, is there anything that he has to do, or just make sure that he's laning as often as possible?
Just laning as often as possible. Okay. I mean, I think the stacks get built whenever the minion dies, when he has his poison on it, so he just has to make sure, he's damaging the wave and gets those stacks fairly easily, guys. As we're getting closer to level 4 here, it's going to be an Infernal Shrine here, and we do have a lot of the members of big Coffin Hunters here in position, looking for the gank here. Wax has to be careful, taking big orb there. Sonya getting really low as well. Now, Fury and Heals can't deal with this much kind of damage here, and Ice Fox Emily has to back out. Wax getting low as well. This is really good poke coming out from Dan Clan.
But level 4 is going to be hit up by Divine 9 first, although I'm not sure what they'll be able to do with it because of the fact that they've all taken so much damage. A great entangling roots though, which means Sonya can put a bunch of damage finally down onto Zergling, and after being hit by the hammering, he's going to have to go back and at least tap, if not go all the way back, depending on what he has available. But still, big Coffin Hunters are controlling this point so far.
No, not really utilizing the Falstad pick just yet, as he's kind of been here the whole time. Not going to be pushing that experience further and further ahead. Still maintaining the minion lead, but getting much closer here as we do see that Divine 9 has taken control of the point. Good poke from Dan Clan, though, poking it down very, very slowly. Is that Don Clan or Dan Clan? I can't see if that's an A. I
think it's Dan Clan.
Dan Clan, so I was saying it right. 32 minions at 28. This is a really close race here. Zergling getting very low and gets taken out. First blood of this game going to be on Thrall. Big spin from Ice Fox Emily as she's trying to clear out these minions. It's still a close race, 36 to 33, but I think this should be going over to Divine 9.
Rampage had a really good flank from the side too, hit a bunch of people with his zombie wall, and that's going to be a constant for him that I never even really considered. There's a lot of places around these shrines where he can catch people grouped up in that, and if he can do that, catch them that way and throw down those bigger toads once they get to that point, then that could be a bunch of splash damage to take out people at once that, again, Malfurion may not be able to deal with. But here is the Punisher getting taken out. Mortar Punisher not going to accomplish too much for Divine 9, but they will get both of the towers, which is exactly what you can hope for if you don't have a Sylvanas on your team and you've picked up the Punisher.
Spider Cluster picked up here from Nazeebo, just synergizes so well late game with that leaping spiders. Just allows so much extra damage, so much extra poke. That's really like when Nazeebo becomes kind of useful, kind of. is 16. So, you know, very important that you do get the talent that synergize best with it, which is Spider Cluster at level 4. There can be arguments, I guess, for Gathering Power. Maybe if Ravenous Spirit was the talent you went for at level 10, you're heroic, but people still just go Gargantuan. The Gargantuan's pretty good. It does decent damage. It recently got its attack damage buffed. It chunks pretty hard, and when they changed to how its slam interacts as well, it's much faster. So Gargantuan can be a real menace in these fights.
Couple of talents I'm seeing to make sure that they are going to be good at, as Jaina goes down, going to be good at being able to continue to win those shrines. We have Snowstorm from Jaina to increase the radius by 30% of Blizzard, making it hit a lot more of those minions. Also, Lightning Bond for Rhaegar, so now they have those 2 of those lightning shields to try to maximize the amount of damage they can get out of that on minions. But no Shattered Ground for Sonya, which has been the pickup for her at level 4 that we see quite a bit on Infernal Shrines because it increases the splash damage. Still going for the focused attacks, wanting to make sure she can get that burst when she needs to. Speaking of Sonya, she's in trouble and going to get taken out by the big Coffin Hunters, but both teams at level 7 and getting ready for the next shrine.
Yep, should be spawning somewhat soon here. No cleanse from Malfurion means that there is the risk of the Sundering, Murd, and Stun, Feral Spirit combo of Doom, or there's no way to avoid it at all. He is playing as greedy as he can with his heals. We'll see if it ends up being a good decision later on. And we do see Ferocious Healing picked up here on Sonya as well. So going for, again, a lot of sustain with this composition. We're already seeing him controlling the point here, 6 minions to 0. And Divine 9 wanting to win this next one as well.
Sundering plus Stormbolt plus Feral Spirit. Can we call that like the dog hammer quake?
No.
Combo? No? Okay, well, that has been shot down just like Rabid Penguin is getting shot down by magic missiles, but a good Snowstorm takes a bunch of the health away from a few of the members of the big Coffin Hunters. Zoe's making a face at me.
Have you had your coffee yet?
Yeah, what?
You're already being real dorky. You see that most of the minions going over to Big Coffin Hunter so far at 27 here. Murder going to have to mount up, and we do see Nazebo is soaking tops, and not only is he getting those Death Ritual stacks, but he's dealing with that Bruiser camp at the same time. 32 minutes to 25. It's going to be another close race here. It just comes down to who can test it better. Jaina going with the Blizzard combo, going to try and secure more minions for a team. Rampage comes in with the Zombie Wall, and a good zoning so far. Rapid Penguin has to be careful here. Zombie Wall does fall. Nice power slide, but now he's really overextended, and he gets bursted down. Zerglin getting low as well. Recess from DanClan, though, doing work here, and he's going forward. They get the Punisher, and Plague's going to go down, and DanClan showing you the power of the Li Ming when all it takes is 1 kill, and you could snowball a fight in your favor.
And that's even without her heroic abilities, but now she's picked those up too, and they're starting to work down those towers as the Punisher gets baited by poor Malfurion, who's trying his best to deal with this, but it's still very healthy, still throwing out its ice shards too. And here comes DanClan with the Disintegrate, and they should be able to melt down this fort while the rest of the Divine 9 take care of this Punisher.
Rogues a good standard across the board. I believe that's Ravenous or Gargantuan.
Yeah, that's the guard.
So bad with Nazebo's talents icons. They are cray looking.
They're new, yeah.
They're cray looking. Level 10 almost here for Divine 9. Shouldn't be seeing anything too out of the ordinary. I'm curious as we'll see Leap or Wrath. Been seeing Leap pop up quite a bit. Still think Wrath is the better option 90% of the time, but whenever you have a squishy target like Nazebo, who you can dive on the backline. There it is. Heroic Leap has been taken. Gilly, take it away.
I'm so excited. This is the best game, and it's only game number 1. We have Leap. We have Nazebo. Crazy things are happening, and we'll see how that works. They do have Leap. I would have loved to see Ravenous get picked up and then Leap afterward, but I guess they realized that was a big possibility, and even with ETC2 being that vulnerable, Mighty Gust even. Okay, so Ravenous just would have been a really, really bad choice anyway. But they've got the Gargantuan. Feral Spirit is going to hit ETC. Ring of Frost comes out, and it's a huge Ring of Frost. Hits so many people. The Ancestral Healing keeps Murden alive, but Zergling is very low from that Ring of Frost combination, and that's going to push all of the members of the big Coffin Hunters back.
If only you could do that every fight as Jaina, then she might be meta, but rarely do you see Ring of Frost with that much value. Unfortunately, though, the rest of the team wasn't there for the follow-up. If they were, that could have been a devastating situation for Big Coffin Hunters to be in, as they are getting closer and closer to level 13. Gillyweed is starting to take their siege camp. We can see a rotation down here from Divine 9 as they're going to take the other siege camp.
And the shrine is about to activate. About a level lead for the Coffin Hunters, which means they will be 13 much sooner if they can continue on that phrase. But they're not there yet, and there's still a point for Divine 9 maybe to try to catch somebody out. And it's going to be nice that they have that mercenary camp in the bottom lane. It's going to make Thrall and Li Ming stay down there, at least for the initial part. But similarly, Coffin Hunters have forced Divine 9 to deal with the mid mercenary camp too. So it'll be Rhaegar, who's up at the top and just now starting out. It will be an Arcane Punisher, Zoya.
Yeah, and we do see that Big Coffin Hunters are the first team here as they are just about to hit level 13. Again, Falstad really neglecting the fact that he has that global presence. You would expect to be seeing Falstad in mid here, soaking it as well as he can to try and even up the experience lead, but he's wanting to contest here and getting poked on pretty hard by Muradin. Power Slide and Mosh Pit go down. That's a big three-man combo. Sundering comes in the last second. Can they keep themselves alive? Falstad gets taken out by Rampage in the flank. Ice Fox family being chased down by Zergling as well. ETC is going to fall. And despite that Mosh Pit Ring of Frost, that is going to be a huge win for Big Coffin Hunters.
Man, Dan Clan out from the side. Got so much time to just throw out the combinations. And the minute that people started going down, of course, critical mass, resetting all of those abilities. And yeah, I mean, they got the combo that they needed. The problem was just keeping people alive through all of that. They've lost people. They're going to lose this Punisher now, too. And during that fight, Coffin Hunters were 13, and so they were fighting an uphill battle for sure, but Divine 9, they're still going to try to get a mercenary camp at least to help out with the pressure up in top, and I like that Coffin Hunters are bringing down the towers first, making sure that it's not so easy to bait this Punisher over and just take it out without getting the fort.
Gargantuan use. Your very short cooldown, 60 seconds, you can kind of just use it carefree to get a little bit of extra siege. It's very difficult to control though, as I believe it attacks who you're auto-attacking. If you're not auto-attacking people, the pathing can be weird, but looking at the level 7 and 13 towns, it's going to get the mana reduction, or the mana return, as well as the cooldown reduction, and then the increasing size of the toads as they bounce. It's a pretty standard build right now. Sometimes we see Gidbin at 7, but not really anymore.
The Toads of Fugitus will be really great if they can catch people in a combo. And before Sonya can even get hit by that zombie wall, she just gets obliterated, as is this fort from the Punisher. And they can continue on with this as it's going to jump onto more people who get stunned. Plague in a lot of trouble. The Ring of Frost comes out, but it won't be in time to save Jaina's life. The Mighty Gust pushes back people for now, but again, this Punisher is strong. It'll jump over the wall, and that will allow the members of Coffin Hunters to hit and bring down these towers in front of the keep.
I'm loving this aggression from Big Coffin Hunters, by the way. I mean, they are not afraid to capitalize off an overextension. You consistently see just, you know, someone being like just Jaina right there. Zergling didn't hesitate at all. He immediately, when he saw the opportunity to go for a gank, went in and tried to secure it, despite his team not being there for the follow-up. And we've seen that happen twice now with Dan Clan and him. So I'm really, really liking the aggression here from Big Coffin Hunters, just abusing the poor positioning of their opponents.
I've specialized Toxin for Nazebo instead of the Leaping Spiders. We'll see how that works out.
Wow, that's
usually you see it with Ravenous, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna go specialized Toxin, you might as well just go Gathering Power at level 4 as well. No need to go Spider Cluster if you're gonna not be going Leaping Spiders. So Rampage with a really interesting build here. I don't like it at all. There's a lot of lack of synergy right now because of his level 4 and level 10 talents mixed with the 16. Because, like you said, Ravenous Spirit with it is just better.
All right, well, the Mercenary Camp does get grabbed by Divine 9, but remember, they're 14 to 16. There goes the leap into the Mosh Pit. A big Ring of Frost too, but the Sundering kind of disrupting that, but still, even with that, Rhaegar goes down, Nazebo will follow, and they're continuing to chase down some of the members. Zergling could be in trouble as he has to take this this weird passageway down, and with a perfect face mount into a power slide, they should be able to get him. He's still trying to run away. Actually, good zoning from Muradin to help him get away, so it's just going to be 2 kills, but that's really what Divine 9 need to get back into this, as they were very behind in experience.
You can never kill the Green Jesus, Gilly.
That is my mistake.
He will always survive. Yeah, I mean, you just got you can't clump up versus Mosh Pit Ring of Frost, and that's happened twice now. The first time they didn't get punished for it. Bruiser's getting mad value up here, by the way. Almost taking out that keep. But yeah, you have to be mindful of your positioning. Even with Thrall avoiding it and getting the Sunder to interrupt it, it was just way too much burst damage on that point. There was no way they could survive it. So big Coffin Hunters need to kind of reassess themselves going into this next fight.
Are you saying Coffin, like Coffin Luck Hunters?
No. Coffin.
Got it. That's what it sounds like to me. With those 2 kills, that's Divine 9 getting 16, so now they can more likely contest this, although they have a lot of heroic abilities still down. Tranquility's down, Mosh Pit is, and Ring of Frost too. What is the sound coming out of your mouth? What was that?
What?
Oh!
That's my boy Nazebo.
Got it.
Level 17 versus level 16 on the same tier here. The leap comes down and they get the entangling roots on top of it. DanClan trying to best clean this up, but there's the Ring of Frost and doing a lot of damage. Rhaegar and Thrall, Orc Boys immediately fall here. DanClan trying to clean this up, but Jason getting mad value with this Tranquility. Nazebo damage, not enough to take it down, but they're still in an okay spot. They only need 1 minion to clear this up, and they have good poke. You see the power slide go down, not going to be enough to take out Murd, and he's going to Dwarf Toss out, and that's going to be this Punisher going on over to Big Coffin Hunters.
Man, it's just impossible for the Big Coffin Hunters to try to funnel in there and do what they need to do, especially with three melee people, to like funnel into these shrines and not get hit by that combo. And that was even without Mosh Pit. Mosh Pit was not off cooldown yet for that. But even just the power of the leap into the Ring of Frost is causing issues now for the Big Coffin Hunters. But it did take Divine 9 long enough to finally get the setup and be able to get that, that they did at least lose the Punisher, so it pushed them back. They didn't really get a lot of push off of that win, but they still didn't lose a lot either.
I mean, there's no excuse for them getting hit by these combos over and over again. Yes, they have 3 melee, but they have Chain Lightning, which is good Thrall poke. You have Nazebo, who's an infinite poke, and then Li Ming, who is infinite poke. They should be spread out more. They should be playing this a little bit safer. There's no need for them to all be clumped up on the point like that. Now, it's the 3rd time this game, Gilly, they've been hit by a Frost like that. That's just... that's unacceptable when it comes to your team positioning. The Stormbolt goes down. Can they get fall set? The Sun Ring was used to secure the kill. That's going to be a decent amount of time for that to back up, but a kill for Heroic, always a good exchange.
Right, and that is the final fort going down too for Divine 9. So although Big Coffin Hunters are starting to lose these team fights, they are winning the structural battles, and for now, they've been winning all of the Punisher battles too. So they at least have that win, stealing some mercenary camps too, forcing Divine 9 to stay back on their side of the map and just have to play cleanup until the next Shrine fight. But there is always the potential and always the problem now for Big Coffin Hunters and trying to deal with those shrines. Like you mentioned, we'll see if they're able to adapt and start spreading out and still be able to pick up the Punishers without losing so much at them.
Well, Bruiser's taking the top here for Big Coffin Hunters. This is going straight onto a keep, so this needs to be cleaned up by Divine 9, or that will just be free catapults pushing down this top lane for the rest of the game. And it's still just such a bad position for them to be in. Half a level until level 20, I mean, I don't know if Divine 9 could even contest at this point.
Falstad has grabbed Overdrive, which is not something I very often see at level 16. We'll see if that can give him more damage with his hammering talents that he's grabbed early on in the game, especially Boomerang too. And we're starting to go up to the Shrine. It looks like actually Divine 9 want to try to catch someone out of position right before Big Coffin Hunters can get that level 20.
Well, that was time. Dwarf Toss was down. They should have just engaged on the Murden if they wanted to kill. They probably could have killed them there if they would have went hard enough. But they're basically at a point where they've missed opportunities here. Level 20 is almost here for Big Coffin Hunters, so they're just gonna get the minions. Okay.
They have won a battle being down a talent tier before. As long as they could find.
This is 20 tier.
Yeah, but if they can still find like a bunch of people clumped up again, if they have the belief in that. And we'll see as Stormbolt starts to go out into the Feral Spirit, and already ETC is just going to get melted down. Tranquility comes out, plus the regrowth, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Disintegrate gets reset. Sonya is going to leap to safety, and the zoning has begun as the rest of them will be able to clean up the Shrine and get yet another Punisher.
this could potentially be game. I mean, it's going into a low health keep, so the Punisher's going to go onto the core with a relatively high amount of HP. It's still a full level until Divine 9 has their 20 tier talents as well. They should have ETC up by then. It just depends on what big Coffin Hunters want to do with this push. I think they should just go for core, though.
They have those 20 talents. Then Nexus Blades for Thrall, Temporal Flux for Li Ming to help with the slows. That may even come out here to slow down Falstad, and there it is. But the chase is not going to catch him in time. We're still trying to slow him down, actually, in a great Storm Bolt, and that will secure the Falstad kill and even bring out the Ring of Frost to, which isn't going to get too much. It does at least make Muradin go into Avatar form, though, but that at least will signify that they want to get into a fight. Sonya will go down. The Sundering pushes ETC back. The Keep goes down, and a very healthy Punisher. They're listening to your advice, Zoya. They are going for the core.
Yeah, and it's with 2 members down, Sonya and Falstad not here to help defend. They need the most money mosh pit they can get. Rapid Penguin looking for it, but just so scared. Murder's going to go ahead and Dwarf Toss on top of him, try and harass him down. Punisher doing as much damage as he can. There comes the power slide into mosh pit, but only getting Rhaegar. Not going to be enough here. Gilly, 40% on the core. It's falling so fast, and I think we're going to have it game number 1 going over to Big Coffin Hunters.
Well, what we saw there was something that you had predicted even into the draft, was that Malfurion would struggle to keep this team alive. Divine 9 did get some really good combinations, but that was more on the side of Big Coffin Hunters just not spreading out, and even just watching at the end for a big mosh, making sure that not too many people got caught out there. And Rabid Hunter, I think was his name? Rabid Penguin, I'm sorry, was already pretty low, so it was easy for them to be able to bring him down while he was in that mosh pit. So good games to Big Coffin Hunter.
Yeah, I do want to point out Nazebo's damage is significantly lower than you would normally see, and that just comes down to the lack of talent synergy. We talked about the level 4 spider cluster. We talked about the Gargantuan not getting the sleeping spiders at level 16. Kind of crippled his damage. Usually, when Nazebo gets 16, you see him spike up the #1 damage in the game, and their Nazebo player was quite a bit lower.
Well, that is game number 1 between these two teams, but it is a best of 3, so we'll see if Divine 9 can bring it back. We're going to go to a break. Before that, we'll see you guys pretty soon. Hi friends, we are back with the best of three. Our first best of three of the day between Divine 9 and the Big Coffin Hunters. And we're about ready for our second draft, which will be on Sky Temple. You are muted.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up, dog?
Just casting some games. How about you?
Yeah, no, you, but no.
Have you had your coffee yet?
Draft started. Draft started. Divine 9 with that first pick, first ban on Sky Temple. Let's see what they want to deny. Really like Illidan on this map, as he can contest points for a long time. Sky Temple is a map about sustain, and that's what he's best at. Winning those long fights. The longer the fight goes on, usually the more often Illidan's going to win the fight.
Well, before we had a Kael'thas ban and a Li Ming early pickup, now we're seeing the Li Ming ban from Divine 9. And Big Coffin Hunters did make Li Ming work for them for sure. There were a lot of times when she was the one out of the combo and able to throw out the damage, even while the rest of the members of Divine 9 were trying to bring somebody down. So that will be, whether it's a targeted ban or whether it's just trying to, again, take out a mage. But Big Coffin Hunters are going to ban Kael'thas. So they're like, okay, well, if we can't have one, nobody can.
No mages today, except we know they're willing to run Jaina.
That's true.
And some people consider Falstad mage too, now that he's more ability power based as opposed to the auto attack. So, depending on how you look at it.
Well, some people still build him auto, but yeah, it's been more of a switch to the Gathering Storm, the Hammering build. Although we still saw kind of a hybrid with Giant Killer, at least in the last game.
Yeah, that was bad. Well, Zagara going to be the pickup here. She was banned last game by Big Coffin Hunters, as she is left through. They're willing to run it. I'm curious if we'll see the Thrall pickup as well, getting two of the better laners in the game, Gilly.
Yeah, they'd have a lot of control over fights, too, between the Sundering and the Devouring Maw, unless it's going to be a weird Nidus network. But nope, again, wanting Rhaegar and prioritizing him early on in their drafts. And they can do the same. No, and they can do the same thing again. Supporting was difficult for Divine 9 in the last game. If they don't pick up who they want right here, I think we could see them in the exact same position they were in the last game.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case. Divine 9 with their next two picks. What are they thinking about? What heroes are they wanting to run? They have the ability to pick up Uther right now, preventing the ban onto the support. They can get themselves like Uther ETC, but they're going to go ahead and go with Johanna, which is a comfort pick for a lot of amateur teams. Johanna having a very easy skill, learning curve, very good survivability with Iron Skin, with just general tankiness, good initiation whether you go Blessed Shield or Falling Sword.
Johanna also is a good person to sit on the shrine. There's people in general who have more of that self-sustain or at least big health pool. You can leave them safely on the shrine. That's why sometimes you'll see the double warrior, or at least priority on those melee assassins too, who can hold them themselves. But again, Divine 9 grabbing Jaina. So they tried the mosh pit into the Ring of Frost. We're going to see like a Condemn, Blessed Shield, Ring of Frost combination.
I have no idea. Didn't work for them last game, Gilly. Despite getting the monster Ring of Frost. Just not enough to secure out the wind. But they're willing to give it a second shot. They're going to be like, hey, we're going to prove we can do Jaina. That's how they sound. I talked to them.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got kind of an accent.
Yeah, they're pretty cool dudes.
I could see that. I mean, they're still trying to run Jaina. They're marching to the beat of their own drum. But Big Coffin Hunters are doing the exact same thing they did in the last game. Taking Rhaegar early on, banning Uther. ETC will be the ban for Divine 9. But Big Coffin Hunters seemed very fine with Murden before, and that's who they're going to grab.
Unfortunately, they play Murden weird. They went Spell Shield that last game, which is okay versus Jaina, but I don't know. I always get tilted when people give up Thunderstrike.
You do. You've got mad at Burning Rage the other day.
Yeah, well, that was real dumb. But Thunderstrike is like arguably one of the best talents in the game.
It is really good.
Anytime you give any hero the ability to 1v1 something in Heroes of the Storm, which is not something we have too much of, it's great.
I really like the way the draft is going for big Coffin Hunters, and especially if they pick up Thrall. This is so many good, so many good power picks. I mean, Zagara has fallen off a lot, but even still, her ability to sit solo in a lane, she can spread out the creep, she's going to give vision to her team, and they can kind of leave her and forget her in bottom lane and have a couple of terrifying heroes who can look around at the two different, oh my goodness, is this happening? Okay.
So we've seen Artaeus a bit in Gold League. He's starting to pop up a bit here and there. What we've mainly seen from China is the tank version of Artaeus.
Yeah, phase bulwark at 13.
Yeah, going for the shield talents at 13 and 16, so going for more tanky solo tank styles. I'm expecting the damage dealer version of Artaeus this game, as you know, they already have a main warrior with Joanna. They don't need the tankiness from Artaeus.
I wonder what they'll go at level 1. Reactive parry, maybe, for the block
Or seasoned
sets.
marksman.
Yeah, seasoned marksman if they really want damage.
Yeah. Both will probably be the go-to. Don't really need the
amateur opponent.
Yeah, minion damage here. They're going to be going solo support Tyrande, which maybe. Not too big of a fan of it. The main issue is the only thing you have to follow up your stun with is either Numbing Blast when Jaina's 16 or Bless Shield when Joanna's 10. So,
Phase Prism?
I mean, that's not reliable. It's so hard to follow up on that. You can try, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they are looking at getting Raynor to try to counter this strategy from Divine 9, having a couple of members, actually potentially even 3 members who could get Giant Killer if they really wanted to just try to burn through the health bars of those warriors. Raynor's also great for contending over a point because Hyperion is freaking annoying when you are trying to stand on a point and fight too.
Well, it will be the Raynor. So the auto damage from him could be great versus this double warrior front line. Has to be careful of the Jaina flanks, as Jaina does quite well versus Raynor. But overall, pretty solid draft. I just got invited to the lobby, so you can join off me, friend.
All right, friend.
Don't call me that.
Do you know something's good right now? A PB&J sandwich.
Maybe. Why don't you just make a ham and cheese sandwich?
I don't have ham or cheese, but I also don't have jelly or bread, so I'm gonna make none of those things. I'm just saying it sounds good. Good luck, have funs in the lobby chat.
How do you not have bread?
I don't know. Bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat?
All right, Scott.
I love that movie.
It's pretty good.
It is good. Like today, where we have a whole bunch of heroes matches. That's also pretty good. Zoya is telling the lobby to go. We'll be in game number 2 between Divine 9 and the big Coffin Hunters. Almost said big game hunters. But Zoya and I are really liking the big Coffin Hunters drafts.
Yes. Much better than their opponents. But at this level of play, when you're at the amateur scene, draft only means so much. Individual play can carry you to a victory. So thanks everyone for tuning in. You are watching game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Currently 1-0. Big Coffin Hunters having the advantage. Winner of this set goes on to play Naventic.
Aw, yeah. We'll see how Icefox Emily, if Icefox Emily can carry the team as Artanis. Artanis with some changes. The big change is having the Zealot charge right away. You can increase it at level 16, the range of it, but like you said, a lot of teams feeling like with that already, they have the freedom to go for other things. Sometimes we see Psionic Wound. A lot of times we've been seeing the shield talents there, but here we go, guys. Divine 9 in the blue with Jason on Tyrande, Icefox Emily playing Artanis, Rabid Penguin on Johanna, Whacked on Falstad, and Plague will be playing the Jaina.
And up 1-0, it's going to be Big Coffin with a 5-man push here in the bottom. Rampage on Zagara, Jade Navigega, Nick on Murden, Power Defense on Rhaegar.
The temple opens in 10 seconds.
You're just going to try to roll through that, aren't you?
Let your battle begin.
Zergling on Thrall and Clan on Raynor.
Well, that was a interesting start to this game, just like we're seeing from the Big Coffin Hunters as they're going to try to take out some towers in the bottom lane. Try to get as early of an advantage as they can. You know, this will give them an early experience advantage, but also if they can get that bottom temple later on, they'll have more likelihood of getting. Ooh, Rhaegar goes down. More likely to get that bottom fort, but they lose Rhaegar for it, so that will bring the experience back up to Divine 9.
Taking a look at level 1 talents, we're seeing Seasoned Marksman at level 1 for Raynor. Going to be building them stacks. But that's Seasoned Marksman, right? It's purple now.
Yes.
I hate all the different colors. It's crazy. Yeah, everything looking pretty normal when it comes to talents. We're seeing the Owl build, which as solo support Toronto was the build we saw anyway, just because of the additional cooldown reduction on your heal. Pretty standard stuff across the board. Rampage lane against Johanna in the bottom lane, giving Rampage a pretty significant advantage here.
Yeah.
I don't see Johanna going to be able to deal too well with the Zagara.
Even more so, too, because she doesn't have Knight Takes Pawn. She picked up Reinforce, which when she uses her abilities will grant her stacks of block. Block is going to be so nice versus this team of Big Coffin Hunters because of their composition, but it does mean that she is going to suffer in her clear department just slightly without that Knight Takes Pawn. Also, Artanis picked up Reactive Parry, so again, picking up the block talents, just wanting to make sure that they can sustain through the very auto attack focused composition from Big Coffin Hunters.
Well, Zergling laning here on the top, just soaking for his team. It looks like it's going to be a straight up trade here, but Big Coffin Hunter's going to come out. I'm having a bad day.
We're going to get through this day together, friend. Okay.
Big Coffin Hunters having an advantage because Zagara, the only one soaking the bottom lane.
The temple phase has King clear.
Thanks, JC.
Why did you tell me?
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Okay, so the temple phase is done. Both teams level 5, picking up those level 4 talents, and yeah, again, everything very, very standard across the board. Same build we saw from Jaina before, and I love Snowstorm for Jaina because I like when you can use it, especially on the gate, so you see people trying to run back behind the gate and you use it, and because of its increased radius, it makes it a lot harder for people to avoid the second crash of it, which can be the difference between life and death. So we'll see if she's able to do that, not only at the gate, but in the entrance to this bottom temple. I think that is a different talent. Templar Zeal. So Artanis is planning to be brawling a lot, making sure that he has Blade Dash up active to kind of, it's basically used as like a waiting period to try to use that until you can get your shield overload back online.
Yeah, I mean, as expected, we'd be seeing the brawler version of Artanis as not the solo warrior this time around. Let's see how it's going to play out. Take a look at the damage meters throughout the game. Level 7 to level 6 here is Divine 9 just about to get. That's a level 7. They should definitely have it before the next shrine spawns, so they should be able to contest this bottom lane here.
Yeah, at level 4 you see Lethal Alacrity a lot because it increases the range of the Blade Dash, but I'm interested to see how this Templar Zeal is going to work and what he picks up at 7, because usually you see Lethal Alacrity and Solarite Reaper paired together. And you could see follow through there maybe. Oh, Jaina's going to go down, and that's perfect positioning for Big Coffin Hunters at this temple phase.
Well, we will see if they're even willing to contest this at this point. We do see that there are 3 members in the top lane with these bruisers. Thrall or Raynor needs to rotate up there, but this fort's definitely going down, Gilly. With no one even close to this with the Knights here, that's definitely going to be the first fort of the game here. Nice job there from Divine 9 to minimize the damage they're taking with that Jaina there.
Yeah, so I was wondering if we'd see the members of Big Coffin Hunters that were in the bottom lane go straight for the fort so that they don't waste any more shots, knowing that the members of Divine 9 are up at the top. And they did do that, but that was time where they were just kind of sitting in the lane, waiting just in case the Divine 9 did collapse on them. So they're not going to get too many shots onto that mid fort, and that means that they're trading out pretty evenly in the structures, but still with the kill advantage, and it looks like maybe even better advantage with their lane presence. It's Big Coffin Hunters who are about to get their heroic abilities.
Yeah, almost level 10 here. Artanis very aggressively positioned forward. Icebox Emily looking for the engage. Thrall going to be soaking that top lane just to guarantee his team getting level 10, and we'll see what heroics will pick. Like you said, Hyperion's good at contesting points, and that's what we're going to see. There is an argument from the Banshees every once in a while, if you want a little bit more single target damage, but like you said, Hyperion's just too good, not only just at sieging, but just at point control.
So along with the Templar Zeal that we have from Artanis, he went for Psionic Synergy, which is, it allows your Blade Dash every time it hits a hero to reduce the cooldown of your Shield Overload. So again, more of the brawling style, making sure that he can stay in the fights as long as he can and sustain out, making sure he has the shield overload as much as possible. So that's what he's been focusing on, but I don't really see these talents together. Like I said, it's more the Solarite Reaper and the Lethal Alacrity, so I'm interested to see how this will work out for our Artanis player.
Diving deep on the whack. Nice triple stun there on that Lunar Flare. That's why you don't clump up that easily, but we do have level 10 here for Divine 9, and Suppression Pulse being the pickup here. Shadow Stalk as well, everything else looking pretty normal. No Falling Sword this game, Gilly.
Darn it!
Today is just not its day.
We'll see if it happens later, but I guess it does make sense. They can condemn into the Blessed Shield, and especially if, again, they're trying to make that Ring of Frost combo work. Suppression Pulse also makes a ton of sense for Artanis with all of the auto attack heroes that the Big Coffin Hunters have, and we're going to have another Temple Phase spawning. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of auto damage here with Thrall, Raynor, Zagara going the auto build with Envenom Spot and just battle momentum. Not going to be seeing battle momentum on a bird in this game. I think I would have preferred seeing it this game, but
just because there's not a lot of melee, or I mean, there's a couple melees.
I think with the front line just being this tanky battle momentum, like there's no need to double stun, because if you do get a double stun, it's going to hit what, Artanis Joanna. That's not like as valuable as getting more spells up. Oh, Bringer Frost in the boss slam combo. Thrall gets deleted. Special Pulse comes out, and well, this boss is going on over to Divine 9.
Great steal from them. The kill also helping them get up in experience, and now a temple phase while this boss is pushing. But at least the Big Coffin Hunters, while holding that bottom temple, can also defend the boss. Some giants up in the top. 4 Big Coffin Hunters will force Johanna and Falstad to respond to, and they're just going to trade out on these temples for now. But looking at the bars, the duration bars for the temples, the mid is going to be done pretty far ahead of the bottom temple, so we'll see how if Divine 9 wants to try to rotate down and steal some of the shots away from the Big Coffin Hunters.
Well, there's a 2v3 down here as Murden is rotating in. I think they can contest this as everyone else is up at the Bruiser camp here. They're going hard onto the point here. A Rapid Penguin going to go ahead and back on out of here. Dan Clan going to get some free poke, popping Iron Skin, and that's going to be 2 forts down here for Divine 9, as Big Coffin Hunters have only lost the top fort. And they're going to do some damage to this top one as well. So a lot of siege damage advantage right now for Big Coffin Hunters.
Yeah, they've had the slight advantage with these temples every time, and that has netted them just a few extra towers, which means they're slightly ahead in picking up those 13 talents.
This is so greedy. This is stupid amount of greed right here. This is not going to work out for them. They have to back up. Get the Ring of Frost onto the point, only hitting Raynor here. That camp is going to go on over 2 Big Coffin Hunters. Can they get the re-engage, though? Zergling's looking for it. It's 13 versus 12. The swap does not connect from Ice Fox and like that Gust. Okay. Whacked stuff.
Well, that's 60 seconds without Mighty Gust.
Yeah,
And with a lot of heroic abilities down on Divine 9's side, especially also without having 13, they're just going to back up. They don't really want to get into a fight right now. They just want to get back and get their mercenary camps and also make sure that they are getting some lane presence. I don't know that it took that many people to get the Siege Giants, but maybe they were scared of big Coffin Hunters trying to steal them away, but that's not what Coffin Hunters want. They want to take out this final 4.
Yeah, and they're going to take it. Pretty big advantage right now, as they still have 2 of their own forts standing, but middle about to be sieged. Bruisers pushing, or excuse me, Siege Giants pushing bottom, 4 of them total, so that could go down as well. Iron Skin randomly popped here by Rabid Penguin. Is that going to be a mistake from him? Dwarf Toss and Stun comes out. Sundering missing as well. A lot of missing skill shots here, as Icefox Emily gets a Swiggity Swap onto Rhaegar. He's going to reposition himself. Blind doing a lot of work. Icefox Emily getting so low. Lots of damage going on to Zergling. Nice and sensational healing. Power defense has to be careful. He does get taken out by Icefox.
And there's the power of the Blade Dash as Icefox Emily able to sustain in the middle of a bunch of members. And another Phase Prism brings down Thrall. 2 kills for nothing for Divine 9, who now will have perfect timing, perfect control of the battleground heading into the next temple phase. There's even a big mercenary push onto the bottom, and that'll just let them set up much more and even get the first few shots from this temple phase.
I mean, that could have been won there by big Coffin Hunters. I mean, we saw that how close that end of that fight was, and imagine if, you know, they didn't miss their initial Stormbolt, didn't miss their Sundering. Did Maul even get value there? I don't think it did.
Yeah, I didn't even see it.
I didn't even see it either. And then the Hyperion not used as well. So that could have easily gone their way if, like, you know, they did anything with their heroics. So level 15, very even here. Bottom keep taking some damage here for big Coffin Hunters. They're looking like they want to fight. They only have Hyperion up. Stormbolt connecting with Joanna there. Iron Skin popped very early. Big Condemn into blind here. Hyperion gets used. Ring of Frost only connects with 2 members here. Rhaegar in a lot of trouble. Will he end up going down?
Rabid Penguin's on the chase for him, and there's a swap for Icebox Emily, but actually sends Rhaegar to his teammates, and he's going to get out. Rampage even will run away, and of course Muradin, as tanky as he is, will get out too. But it's still favored Divine 9 in that they can rotate back around and get the rest of the shots from this temple, whereas big Coffin Hunters were very low. They still have a lot of heroic abilities that are on cooldown. You know, they have some really long cooldown heroics between those teammates, and that's not really the case for Divine 9.
Yeah, it's a lot of really short cooldown. I mean, I think everything but Ring of Frost is short, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. Pretty big advantage when it comes to the quicker fight rotations here. Power defense has to be careful up here, as Whacked almost scouts him out. Getting very close to level 16. Taking a look at structures. We're still even with keeps 3-3. However, bottom keep 4 big Coffin Hunters is exposed. So if that boss does get taken, which is about to spawn, could be an advantage for Divine 9.
Bruisers get picked up for Divine 9, and that is something that they can know that eventually they will be watching to see if Coffin Hunters go up to that. But big Coffin Hunters are lying in wait. They know that this will be the next place that Divine 9 go after, and they are set up in position. Hyperion's not ready, but every other heroic for them is as they start to go in. They get onto the point. Not in time to grab the Giants, but the Sundering comes out. There is the big blind into a Ring of Frost. Devouring Maw catches 2 members, but they've already lost Thrall. Can they turn this around? Oh, will they just run away? It looks like it will be the latter. But will they actually get away, Zoya?
It looks like Zagara is going to go down as the Phase Prism does end up connecting with the Zagara here. And you think after like a game and a half of playing against this Jaina, you would start to learn how to play against the Ring of Frost. But fight after fight after fight, they prove that they're really good at getting hit by Ring of Frost.
Well, Plague getting value out of that heroic, that's for sure. And the boss will go to an exposed keep into that bottom lane just in time for the temples to activate. So this timing could not be better for Divine 9, as they're not only going to have Giants and the boss in that bottom lane, but if at any point they feel like they don't want to push up onto that death bridge because it is a scary spot to try to siege, they can always just go back and start getting the temples.
Well, I do see that the boss is pushing into this bottom keep here. Opposing presence, see if that gets value here on Joanna. It's very auto-focused, like you said. doing a really good job with their talents as to in getting this composition here. And they've got a lot of push here, but they're going to go ahead and back out. They could have potentially sieged into core here with the boss and siege giants here, but they're going to go ahead and go for the safe option. Falstad immediately flies mid, going to start taking shots there. That's going to start damaging the middle keep, which is still very, very healthy, but still a very big advantage right now for Divine 9.
Pretty sure that's Psionic Wound, which is vulnerability, yeah, from Twin Blades. And the triple strike's still going to be grabbed. So no shield talents, as you predicted. Fully committing to fighting and brawling for our Artanis. And with the vulnerability now, they have two different ways of causing that between Hunter's Mark and the Psionic Wound. And I mean, that's just going to make sure that they can deal the damage they need to do to bring somebody down really fast in the fights. That's not really been too much of a problem for them in these later game fights, as they're always finding a couple of people and hitting them really hard with the Jaina combination.
Well, top keep potentially going to go down here if Big Coffin is not willing to contest it. They got all of mid, but all up top is still available here, and that's going to definitely get this keep. So 2 keeps down for Big Coffin Hunters. They need to make something happen here. They need to try. They should be trying to force a fight, as they're down right now going into 20. They need to get some advantage. If they just kind of play passive and abnormally safe here, they're just letting your opponent get 20, and then you just can't win at all from there.
Right, you just give the game up to your opponents. But Divine 9 realized this, and so they're going to be playing very safely. They're just rotating as a 5-man group. The lanes are kind of pushed out away from them, so that's tough for them to try to get that soak where they want to be able to get that 20 faster. But they're going to use the Shadow Stalk and go in. Can they catch someone with the Phase Prism? As Icefox simply is looking for it. There it is, onto Rhaegar into the Suppression Pulse 2. If Ring of Frost comes out, Rhaegar is going to be caught in the middle of it, but Sundering just barely keeps Rhaegar alive.
They're turning this around too. Whack blow in the back line. Zergling leading the charge here. Icefox Emily getting low, and Falstad's going to go down. I believe the Hyperion got him, or was it the Chain Lightning? I couldn't see. Icefox Emily being chased by the Mulus, trying to get away here, and that's going to be 2 kills there. That was such a huge mistake from Divine 9. They had an advantage. They were up 2 keeps to 1. Or 3 keeps to 1. They had the advantage going into 20. There was no need for them to force that fight there.
Right.
You just play the map, you play safe. Now it's only Jaina and Tyrande up to defend against this with the Joanna. This could very easily be core, but they're not going to go for it. Oh, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
This could have been a very easy core victory here.
And they have 2 keeps down. That's just inviting Divine 9 to come back to be able to still win the next team fight and win the game.
Core. That's so. That's a tough one to watch. That could have easily been game for Big Coffin Hunters here. And now they're in a situation where they're going to be on even footing with their opponents, 20 versus 20, but they're going to be down 2 keeps to 1. And
well, we're seeing the inexperience on both sides, right? Like, we saw the inexperience from Divine 9 and that they didn't need to fight. They just needed to get 20 and then fight when they had that advantage. Meanwhile, Coffin Hunters, they wanted to fight there, but they won the fight, and then knowing how far behind they were, they did not feel comfortable going for core, even though they took out the keep really fast, and it was still 20 seconds before they'd have everybody up for Divine 9. So, yeah, it's just inexperience on both sides. They've got to get to one of these temples. They've got to start taking out these temples. Both of them now being held, and if they can't get one of these, they really need both of these even, and start to get some fights. They're just going to give the game to Divine 9.
Yeah, I don't know what this passivity is here as Murden goes in, trying to get Jaina there. Imagine if he had Thunderstrike.
Oh, Sundering did not get the Jaina. Imagine if he had Thunderstrike. That's true. That's true.
It would have killed him there. Spell Shield not getting the best value in comparison. Would have been a kill, which would have been 70 seconds without Jaina. And could have been a completely different story right now. But now mid-shrine. I mean, you can't be taking top here, Rampage. You need to be contesting. Your core is under fire. You have to try and fight here. So heroics are down on both sides. You're going to start taking some serious damage here. Rampage finally rotating down, needs to be healed up a bit by Rhaegar.
They've got to get in here. They have Sundering. Yes, they have everything ready, and here they go. They're going in for the fight. The core's at 73%. They've got to try to take out somebody. Icefox Emily is low, and that will be the first one. A Devouring Maw hits 2 members, and Falstad goes down. This is exactly what Big Coffin Hunters need. They force out Indestructible. Jaina's going to go down, and Johanna will too. DanClan doing a great job of body blocking until the Indestructible was done. A full team wipe, and now Big Coffin Hunters, although their life was way on the line, able to win that big team fight, and they will bring it. They They will take the series, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be a 2-0 victory here for Big Coffin Hunters. Congratulations, guys, as you will move on. But it's going to be a tough road from here. As there it is, Jason calling out good luck versus the Ventic. That's going to be their next opponent, who, if you take a look back at the DreamHack qualifiers, they're one of the 2 teams that qualified from the first event. And teams considering them arguably the best team in North America right now.
Yep, they've been very strong, but it's been a bit since we've seen them, as it was the first qualifier. So we've seen a lot of the other teams more recently in that competitive setting. But GG's to both of these teams. Big Coffin Hunters able to get the victory. The Artanis play was fun, though, from Divine 9, and it nearly worked out for them for sure.
Landing some money sweetie swaps multiple times over and over. But guys, we're going to a quick commercial break. When we get back, we will have our second set of the day, Naventic going up against Big Coffin Hunters. Stay tuned.